area to contact them. Crimes like that one are on the rise. It's the message we're getting across central Illinois. And tonight we're focusing on one group it's affecting, our kids. Target 3 investigator Renee Cooper joins us now. So Renee, how are kids handling all of this?
Well, Jess, everyone has their own ways of coping with tragedy, but whether they've seen it firsthand, watched story after story on TV, or they are seeing negative, sometimes dangerous behaviors in their own peers, kids are watching this trend unfold just like the rest of us, and it takes a toll.
The data tells us that, it's a concern, that there is an upswing in the violence that's occurring in our communities, and we can't just be passive participants.
TRACY Cherry has been the Danville High School principal for 2 years, but she's lived in the town since 1990. Over time, she's seen a rise in violence.
I still feel very safe here, but, there is a difference from when I was here at the beginning compared to now.
What do you guys think is the...
Yes, I have noticed an uptick, but I really think it's because we took so much away from the youth.
Before David Groves was the executive director of a nonprofit, he was a kid here in Danville.
I cannot think of a moment where my mom did not have me busy. When I moved back here, I noticed there was a decrease in programming.
Groves runs the LEEFLOWSHIP House, a safe haven for all kids, but with the city's underserved multicultural families in mind.
I like to say our kids just come from life. What people don't understand is when you think about our youth, you think about all students are the same, when actually every student has their own story.
He and Principal Cherry believe that providing programs and outlets for kids early on can prevent violence down the road, and in the meantime, keep them out of danger.
I do want to note, violence is not a Danville-specific problem. It's affecting towns and cities across the region. But the reason I went to Danville is because there are some unique solutions going on there. I'll be back in the 6:30 portion of the newscast to talk about those and how your kids may be able to get involved. Back to you.
All right, Renee, we'll see you then.
Continues here on WCIA 3, your local news leader.
It's important for all of us to be as proactive as we can now rather than reactive in the future.
Danville High School's principal is talking about preventing violence. Several community leaders tell us this all starts from the ground up. Target 3 investigator Renee Cooper is back with us. So Renee, what does that mean exactly?
We're talking about kids. They're exposed to the rising gun violence likely as much as us adults. Earlier in the newscast, I told you giving kids somewhere to be and someone to talk to can make all the difference in their individual futures and in curbing violence down the road.
A lot of it is just taking the time to build that relationship and to make it personal.
School is a built-in getaway for students, a place to feel safe, be fed, and have someone to talk to.
We have a counselor, a psychiatrist that comes down from Chicago at least twice a month because it was very difficult to schedule an appointment with a psychiatrist in our community.
The problem is, once the school year ends, that safety net goes away. That's where the LEEFLOWSHIP House comes in. For the first time in years, the nonprofit is offering a place for kids to spend their summer days.
We have a lot of students who don't even know what trauma is and how to identify certain triggers to anxiety and PTSD and depression.
Executive Director David Groves says they bring in counselors to help students work through this stuff. Plus, kids have access to young adults who've been in similar shoes.
We building every day, and I'm seeing new girls, they going home and telling their friends and their parents how much they enjoy coming, and that's what I like to hear. That it's all about them, their experience.
The summer program is called Black Wall Street, teaching kids about black history often left out of textbooks. Plus, these kids are busy learning entrepreneurial skills.
I feel like it's a very huge deal. Like, I didn't have anything like this growing up, and I just wanted to make sure that the generations after me had something good to do, and I wanted to be a part of it.
And above all, it's about knowing someone believes in you and helps you envision a bright future.
Now, the LEEFLOWSHIP House is open to all students. I'm told they're happy to bring in more for the summer program. And it doesn't cost families anything. It's funded by donations and some money from the school district. Back to you.
A good option for kids.